Skimo's romantic.
Hello and welcome to Olympic Dispatch by Skimo Gold, the premier podcast and YouTube show for ski mountaineering and race analysis. The Olympics are upon us, and we are coming at you with episodes every single day leading up to the Skimo races at the Olympics, February 19th for the sprint race, February 21st for the mixed relay. As you probably know, this is the first time Skimo has been involved in the Olympics, but it's been around for a long time, and it's been a foundational element of the mountain culture for many people, some here in places like Colorado, but also even more in Europe, in the Alps. And we've got one such person today, our guest on the podcast. Not only is she one of the best ski mountaineers in the world right now and a top medal contender from the home country of Italy, but she's also just a great person. I enjoyed talking so much with Giulia Murada, a longtime member of Italy's Skimo national team, and again, medal favorite here at the upcoming Olympics. She talks about growing up in the mountains and being with her dad, who is also her coach. She talks about Skimo as an element of the culture. She talks about preparing for the Olympics and what that means to get ready physically and mentally. And she talks so much more about the World Cup, about her race history. It's a great interview. And I think, especially if you're new to the sport of Skimo and you haven't followed it, listen to these interviews because these are people you want to get to know. And these are, for me, as a parent of two teenagers, athletes like Giulia are the kind of athletes I want my kids to learn about and to listen to and to look up to, just because of how they behave, how they present themselves. The results are, of course, great as well, but there's so much more spirit that comes across in this conversation with Giulia Murada. Thanks to our sponsors. We are working very hard throughout the Olympics here to produce an episode every single day. That includes Palm Tree Podco, the production folks. Thanks to you guys. And we're so glad to be working with brands that want to be part of authentic athlete-driven storytelling in the great sport of Skimo. Dynafit and Pomoca, these are brands that you're going to see on a lot of athletes in the Olympics, on the World Cup, and also just, if you're like me, up there skiing for fun on Monarch Mountain Resort like I was today, I'm wearing Dynafit head to toe like I do every single day. And, my kids actually think it's cool. I don't do many things that my kids think are cool, but one of them is wearing Dynafit. Thanks also to Training Peaks. This is the only platform I've used for over a decade in coaching endurance athletes in a variety of sports, including ski mountaineering. If you want better insights, analytics, and communication, please check out Training Peaks. Thanks also to Revanta Creatine by NeuroReserve. I take creatine every single day. I'm concerned about the same things you are in terms of brain health and maintaining strength and muscle mass as I go through these middle years of life. So check it out, Revanta Creatine by NeuroReserve. And finally, thanks to Camp. They've been with Skimo since the start of the sport over there in Italy. They've been with Skimo Gold in the start. Check them out. Excellent outdoor gear at Camp. All right, folks, it's time to roll with the one and only Giulia Murada on Skimo Gold's Olympic Dispatch. Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here with you. And Giulia, my first question You have grown up in a special place in the mountains of Italy, and very soon in the Olympics, the eyes of the world will be on Cortina, Milano, and Bormio, where the ski mountaineering is taking place. Many people in the United States and around the world will learn about this area. Those of us like me who've been lucky to visit this area, we know how special it is with the mountains and the culture and the food and the coffee. It's a wonderful place. What can you tell us about this place, Julia? What was it like to grow up in the mountains of Italy, and how did you get into these sports of ski mountaineering and more?
First of all, I'm so happy that you like my hometown so much and Italy and Alps in general. Uh, I think that yeah, growing up here made me feel like skimo. It's something normal. I know it's not like a super famous sport, but for me, it has always been something that I have known for the very beginning. Also, thanks to my dad. And I think especially this region where the Olympic will be held, like the Bormio and all the valley, it's very special for skimo, and I'm so happy that the skimo at the Olympics will be here in Valtellina because we have such a big culture and big history for this sport, and there are so many ski club and kids. It's not so popular around Europe and in the world to have so many ski clubs and kids practicing skimo. So I'm very happy, and I think it's right that we start our Olympic journey here.
I think so too. I've seen the history. I see it on the wall behind you, Julia. You have these beautiful old skis. I've seen a photo on Instagram. I think maybe in your house or your parents' house, it's sort of a library or a den in the walls. They have the old skis and the ice tools and the screws and the snowshoes. There's so many things. What do you know about that history? And you mentioned your father, Ivan. He's, I think, a ski mountaineer. What should we know about his era of the sport and going further back? What else can you tell us?
When I was like a little child, see my dad going away for a ski competition. But when I was so little, I didn't understand what he was doing. I just saw him go and then come back with a medal. Sometimes he actually won the first world championship in 2002, if I remember correct. I think, and
Mm.
there was already a big group of athletes here, so I always seen him training with his friends, and sometimes with my mom, and then also my brother. We went cheering on him. But when I was younger, I didn't like skiing in general too much.
Mm.
It was a passion that came a bit later, like middle school, something like that. But yeah, I always seen like the big races like Pyramenta and the most historic ones as also my favorites. And so growing up, I have always seen myself competing one day in those kind of races. That in the last years, my focus swifted a bit, but that's okay. I think I will still have time to go back to like classic races and long distance races too.
I think you're right, Julia. You have time. I think you're 27 years old, as I saw, so you have many years ahead if you want. If we go back to those early years of Skimo, I think I saw you join the Italian national team when you were about 16 or so, a fairly young age. Tell us about that time. What was it like getting to that highest level? You joined the Army Sports Center maybe a few years later. How did that time period go for you as you made your way to get to where you are now at the top level?
Yeah, I think I joined my first national team that I was like 14 or something like that for the European Championship in Andorra, which is still like a magic place for me because yeah, I have
Mm.
so many memories there. And I think at the beginning I believe a lot in what I was doing, but it was still like a game. And then growing
Mm.
up, especially when then I joined the Esercito and I became a professional in this sport, everything got a bit serious. And I think it's right to be like this. And every year I just wanted to improve, and get better and try to get on the top of our sports. And I think it's many years now, uh, but somehow I still feel like I am a young girl with a lot to learn, because every season, every race, I still find something new, something to work on, something to be better at. So it's fun to never like I don't feel I am at my top level yet. I still have room for improvements, and I still bring like the younger passion with me.
Oh yes, very good. Thank you for sharing, Julia. And in English, we call this the growth mindset, a focus on getting better. And it's great to hear that from someone. You were on the podiums at the World Cup. You have the Olympics coming up, but you keep focusing on improvement. And I think that's a champion mindset. That's one reason that you're doing so well.
Thank you.
You mentioned Andorra. You're welcome. Yes, I think it's true. You mentioned Andorra, and I think we have, as we record this in what is today, January 22nd, we have or you have a World Cup in Andorra coming very soon. I'd done one race in Andorra. It was very special. It was about 10 years ago, and it was a vertical mile. So usually we have the vertical kilometer. This one, the vertical mile. So you gain 5,000 feet over it's the summer, maybe 2 or 3 miles, called Mia Vertical Dareu, I think. I don't know if I have the pronunciation right, but it was a very special race for me, a beautiful place, a fantastic village high in the mountains. What can you tell us about Andorra? Why is it special for you?
I don't know. I think, well, first of all, it's because really I have so many good memories there, because it's like more than 10 years we go there for competition, and I feel a bit at home when I'm there. I know the places.
Mm,
I don't get lost. And
mm.
yeah, I love also uh, like the normal life there, like the food and everything, the mountains, also the shopping a bit. And when we are
Mm.
there, we can also have some time to chill and enjoy, to visit the city. And yeah, I think it's special just because it's a bit like home. And when we are away for competition for all the winter, it's nice to have a place when you feel that you can relax and a bit around.
I haven't thought of the shopping in Andorra. If I go back, I will try this
You
out.
should.
Thanks to Dina Fit and Pomoka for supporting the Skimo Gold podcast. I'm a long way from the Olympic level, but like many of you, I love getting out there skiing, downhill skiing, uphill skiing, in the resort, out of the resort. And literally every day that I'm skiing, the layers that are facing the environment for me are Dynafit. I've got Dynafit hard shell pants and jacket that I wear out on my downhill days or on the touring days when it's really cold. And I've also got a touring pant and jacket that I wear literally every single day when I go up there at the high elevation Monarch Mountain. It starts at 11,000 feet and goes up from there. It's pretty much always cold and windy, and I'm glad to be wearing Dynafit when I'm out there in those conditions. Another special place at the beginning of this season, the first World Cup was early December, and it was in Utah in the United States at Solitude. I have seen photos of you and Team Italy. You have cowboy hats on, you have sunglasses. Not only were you competing hard, you did a great job, Julia. I think you were second in the sprint race. Fantastic result at the high altitude. Tell us about Utah and what did you think about the United States? Have you been here before? Do you want to come back? How did you like the race? Did you keep your cowboy hat?
That was my first time in the US, and when I saw the calendar this summer, I was so happy to finally have the opportunity to compete in the US. And yeah, I'm a bit sorry that we spent there a few days and we didn't get the chance to see around more because I saw on Instagram about for like other athletes that did a bit of touristing and seeing around, and there are so many beautiful places just close to where we were racing. And competing there was super fun. The first races of the season are always a bit scary, but being there in a place I've never been before made me like not focusing only on races and results. So my head was a bit lighter because I felt to be a little bit on a holiday somehow. And then the
Mm.
last day there was like this little party, and we have hats and glasses, and it was very fun to share some time with the team. And obviously, I brought all that stuff at home, even if it was a bit difficult to fit everything in the luggage, but was fine. The hat and the glasses was the priority on my baggage, so I'm happy to have those at home now.
Oh, very good. I'm glad you have some souvenirs. I'm glad you had a little bit of fun. I hope you can maybe come back sometime. Final question about Utah. The elevation. I think that race is maybe 2,500 meters or so, probably a little bit higher than most races in Europe. Did you feel a difference? Did you feel the dry air, or was it just business as usual?
Yeah, actually, I didn't expect to feel the altitude so much because I've been training in altitude during the previous month. I've been in Livigno, and I think I
Hmm.
was prepared for that. And I also thought that the same altitude in the US and in Europe felt different. I thought in the US was easier, but it wasn't.
Mm.
um, I do not like feel very well at altitude in general, and
Hmm.
so when I was competing, I felt I wasn't at my best, even if the result of
Mm.
the race was good. But I wasn't happy about my performance because I felt I couldn't like give my everything, and
Mm.
yeah, I was also a bit upset because I think I was better prepared for that, but I wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. You have the altitude, but then also the time change, the jet lag, the new environment, the new food. It's hard to tell exactly what's what,
Yeah,
huh?
also maybe the travel itself because we, as a team Italy, we arrived like just 2 days before, so it was a
Mm.
bit hard to get used the jet lag and also to the altitude all in once.
Yeah, yeah. When I did Pierre Menta 2 years ago, and same thing. I arrive in France 2 days before, and in the start of the race, I did not feel good, but luckily, I felt a little better as we kept going. How about the other races so far this year, Julia? Congratulations, you have national champion in the sprint race for Italy, which is very competitive. So good job on that. And then in the other World Cup, Courchevel, more recently, you have a podium finish in the sprint with third place and also a strong finish in the vertical. How are you feeling on the form right now, just a few weeks before the Olympics?
Well, thank you, first of all. I was maybe a little surprised by my result and how I felt during those races because I had a big training block in December. And so, obviously, because I was working for February, and I expected to be a bit tired, both for the Italian Championship and for the Courchevel stage. But I think I'm accusing it more right now, but it's fine. And I'm so happy about the results because even if I know I qualified this spot for the Olympics, and one of those two spots were mine, I felt like for myself that the result in Utah wasn't enough for me to make me make me
Mm.
feel I really deserve that. So I wanted to do other races to see that I am like the best Italian in the sprint, and I'm not taking away the spot to anyone else. And so now
Mm.
I feel more ready and a bit lighter, and I know I can compete at my level and do great result maybe.
Yeah. Oh, good for you, Julia. I'm glad you're feeling that. And that, I think that touches a bit on in the Olympic qualifying. There's only so many spots, and on a deep competitive team like the Italians, I can imagine that it's challenging because these people are your friends and your teammates, and you've been racing together over the years. You've been teammates, but everyone doesn't get to go. That's I think it's good and challenging. I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm especially with Katia, because we are very friend and we share the room every competition, every time we are
Mm,
away with the team, and like she's like a true friend. And I know she's dreaming also about the Olympics, also because she lives in Bormio. These are 2 meters from the Olympic slope, and
wow.
after America, I felt like she was almost on the same level as me. So I wanted to see, like in the other races, how we were, because I didn't want to take a spot away from her. Because last year, yes, I was stronger, but this year is another year, and so I think
Yeah.
the best one deserved to go, and I wanted to, yeah, like full fair play and fairness and everything,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, the verification, and that's a dynamic situation. Listeners, this is Katia Mascherona, another World Cup fantastic skimo racer from Italy. Hopefully, maybe sometime we can do an interview with her. But she's always right up there in the standings as well. If you're an athlete and or coach looking for better planning, insights, and communication for your endurance training, please consider Training Peaks. I started using Training Peaks in 2013 as an athlete. I was training for the Lead Challenge series and being coached by the one and only Josiah Middaugh. Josiah got me going in Training Peaks, and we had a great season. I was able to win the series and set a record. And I honestly wouldn't have been able to do it without Training Peaks as the platform for our planning, for the data gathering, and for the communication back and forth. I subsequently started using Training Peaks in my own coaching and have not stopped. I've literally looked at the platform every day since then, and I highly recommend it to you. If you're an athlete or a coach or both like me, try out Training Peaks. I'd love to hear a little bit, Julia, about you. You alluded to the training, and if we look over the course of your career, historically, you've done very well in the longer races, the multiple day races, or even just the individual race, which is maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours. So it's still a very high intensity, but compared to a 3 minute sprint race, this is an entirely different type of effort. Tell us about your training, and especially as of late, your starts have gotten very good. You go off the line very hard, and you're right either at the front or right with the leaders, and that's very hard to do at this highest level. What are you doing with your training, and how has it changed as you've kind of, as you mentioned, shifted that focus from the longer stuff to, at least right now, these Olympic disciplines, the sprint that's 3 minutes, and maybe the mixed relay that's sort of 2 by 6 minutes or so?
Yeah, I think I'm made mostly for long distance, and like
Mm,
since ever. But when like the Olympic Committee confirmed that the sprint would be at the Olympics, with my dad, which is my coach, we said, okay, we have to do something. We have to try,
mm.
because this is an opportunity and it may not happen again. So I want to try and see if I can transform myself into a sprinter. So we change a bit my trainings, and like this happened like 3 or 4 years ago. Uh, Slowly, because for the first year I wanted to focus also on the World Cup, so I wanted to be competitive also in individuals. But
Hmm.
the first results of my changing in training was that I wasn't good at the long distance race anymore, and I didn't get
Hmm.
better in the sprints. So it was harder the
Mm.
first years because I only saw bad results. But I think a bit last year and especially this year, so perfect on time, I finally see the results. Obviously, when you change so much, it takes time. And so I needed to
Mm.
be patient. Last year, I saw some improvements, and I was happy that the things I worked on summer paid off on winter. But like,
Mm.
yes, my start in the spring race was very slow. And
Mm.
that was like something that didn't allow me to reach the top spot of the race. So this
Mm.
summer we
Mhm.
work a lot of on the starting, both like on running and a lot of on in the gym. And I think also on the mindset and in the motivation to like being on the start line and like just saying, okay, go get it and don't think too much. And I think we put all this thing together, and now I'm more competitive also on the starting.
I love it. Don't think, just go. Um, Tell us a little more about your father, Ivan, as your coach. For some people, I think this can be a challenging dynamic. It sounds to me when you talk about your dad, I see you smiling. When I see a photo of you and your dad, you both seem very happy. I'm sure every single moment isn't great, but that's okay. That's life. How does it work for the two of you? And what are day to day? Is your dad, is he writing programming in a document, or maybe in a Training Peaks or something? Or maybe you just go train together and he tells you what to do, or you talk. How does it work in that system?
Uh, uh, no, on Training Peak because it's not very good with the computer and and yeah, technology stuff. Still like in
Yep.
the old days, but yeah, he do my programs and like weekly, and then we correct day by day. But I think the best part is that he know me very very well, and
Mm,
I can
mhm,
say anything to him. So we have this relationship where uh, it's so easy to talk and to sometimes also to get upset, to get angry. I am a very like exigent athlete. I want to everything to be in order, under control. I want to do
mm,
things in the best way possible. So sometimes I can also be angry at him because I want everything on time, and maybe I can't do this with another coach. And I think also
mm,
what make this thing work very good is that when he see me training or skiing or whatever, he like understand how I feel, if I'm tired, if I am in my best shape, and so he can like
mm,
correct the training based on that, not just seeing like data and heart rate. And so I really trust him, and I know sometimes he puts more work than what I do, and so I know it's always there, and I can just trust the plan and see how the race goes. And when the races are maybe bad or I'm not happy about the result, we talk a lot and we find a way out, and we change the things, and we go and we get better.
yeah. Oh wow. Giulia, thank you so much for sharing. I'm so happy that you and your dad can go through this together, and just regardless of the outcome of the Olympics and the races, the fact that you've done this together, I know is so special. And it makes me, I'm thinking of my dad, because my dad and I, we also have a special relationship where when I was a kid, he was an ultra runner, and those were my early experiences, kind of like you with Skimo. And then he was in adventure racing, and I got into adventure racing. And for many years, we were in it together. And now as my dad gets older, he's much later in life, and he has Alzheimer's, and he can't remember these things, but I think back, and it was such a special time. And so I'm so happy for you and your dad, and to think about he can watch you, and he knows how you're feeling. He knows what's going on. He doesn't need the data, the training peaks. He can just see and he can sense. And that's magical. And I'm so glad that you get to do this together.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, Julia, as we wrap it up, just tell us a little bit of final thoughts. What does it mean to you to have the Olympics coming to Bormio, a place that you know so well, close to home? I can only imagine that family and friends and community and your teammates will be there. What does this all mean to you?
I think I'm not realizing the old stuff because I'm still, I think, way too relaxed, and I shouldn't be maybe.
Mm,
Uh, Also, like seeing all around stuff, construction, Olympics everywhere should, I think, make me feel more like worried, but actually, I'm not. A few years ago, the idea of racing close to home with all family and friends there made me feel a bit under pressure. But now something changed in my mind, and I only feel this like big energy, and
mm,
like I have some extra power to compete at my best. And knowing that I will be at the Olympics basically at home. Where I have been training so many times with people I know, like not only in the public, but also those who are working literally on the slope, made me feel like it's a dream, and I still cannot believe that it's happening this way. Uh, as you said, it's already so magical to have the Olympics, to have it in Italy, close to home, and my ski club, my previous ski club, is actually working on the Skimo slope for the Olympics. So I'm just
mm.
really proud of them also because it's like we are all going to the Olympics somehow, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Wow, thank you for sharing, Julia. You are relaxed, and I think that means you're confident, and I think that means you're ready. And I'm really excited to see you out there. Final question: we have some listeners in Italy who I don't speak Italian, but some of our listeners do. Julia, would you like to give a final message in Italian to anyone who's out there listening?
Ok, allora ciao a tutti i fan italiani, spero che veniate a vederci alle Olimpiadi a farci un po' di tifo perché ne abbiamo sicuramente tanto bisogno e continuate a seguire questo podcast e un saluto a tutti.
Alrighty. Grazie, Julia. Ciao. Thank you so much.
Grazie. Thank you, bye.
Thanks dearly for listening to this episode of Olympic Dispatch by Skimo Gold. Boy, I hope that you enjoyed hearing from Giulia Murada of Italy as much as I did. I guarantee anyone who hears this is going to be rooting for Giulia out there when we see her first in the sprint race on February 19th. And as I said, she is a very strong medal contender, been hitting the podium regularly in the World Cups so far this year. And boy, what an athlete and what a person. My name's Travis Macy. I'm the host. You can find my stuff, that's endurance coaching, books, keynote speaking, and more at travismacy.com. You can find our producers, Palm Tree Pod Co. at palmtreepodco.com. While you're online, please consider checking out our sponsors. These are the brands that are working with our small niche sports to keep it going and support our production of episodes every single day leading up to those final races on February 19th and the 21st. That is Dynafit and Pomoka. Great hard goods and soft goods for ski mountaineering, alpine touring, trail running, and more. I was looking at the Dynafit site recently and just checking out some of their summertime stuff. They got great trail running shoes for races and also for ultra running, and some excellent hydration vests as well. Thanks to Training Peaks. Boy, if I had analytics of the websites I spend time on, I'm sure Training Peaks would be the leader. Between the phone app and the computer interface, most of my day is spent in Training Peaks as an endurance coach, as it has been for 10 years. It's the only platform I've ever used. And honestly, when I hear of endurance coaches who are still using spreadsheets, I just I think they're leaving something out there. Friends don't let friends use spreadsheets. You need more in terms of analytics and planning, and also communication. The communication capabilities within Training Peaks are huge, and those are the foundation of what I do with highly personalized coaching. Thanks also to Revanta Creatine by Neuro Reserve. I took it this morning, like I always do. It's one of the first things I put into my body, and it's a big piece in being well cognitively and being sharp, especially at a time like this when I'm working a lot on these podcasts. It really keeps me going. Thanks also to Camp. Camp is a brand I use in a lot of summer sports as well, especially rock climbing. I'm not a great climber, but I love climbing. I love taking my kids climbing, and we use a lot of Camp products for that. Listeners, we could use your help. Hit that 5-star rating. Give us some feedback. Give us some comments. Tell us if, especially if you like the show. That's really helpful. We are digging in. We're really working hard, especially in this Olympic period, and we could use your help. The biggest compliment we could get is if you are to share this episode. Maybe if you're on your phone, just text it right on over to a friend. Let them learn more about the great sport of skimo. All right, folks, that's a wrap on this episode of Olympic Dispatch by Skimo Gold. We will catch you next time tomorrow. Again, every single day here. We're coming at you tomorrow with a fantastic conversation. Another pro skimo athlete from Italy, the one and only Matteo Adolin. We are going to examine whether or not the heart, the soul, and the spirit of skimo have been degraded by the Olympic disciplines. Check it out tomorrow on Skimo Gold.